Hello again, future friends. Today, we are going to talk about the sphere of concern. Now, I want you to picture a ball. It's probably a very big ball because this is the sphere of concern. It is the sum total of all of the things that you learn about, hear about, know about, or have any kind of worry about. Now, it's a very, very, very big ball because there's a lot of stuff that just sort of exists, and we hear about lots of things. We hear about all sorts of various and sundry stuff as we live our lives from day to day. So, the issue with the sphere of concern is that it can get too big. There are a couple of things that you can do to try to limit the sphere of concern. One is to be careful in what you engage with and how much. Try to narrow it down sometimes. Not all the time, not every day, but just make sure that you don't try to take on the entire world as your burden. You are not Atlas, your shoulders are not meant for taking on that much weight, and it's probably unhealthy to think that you can try to save everyone or everything. That's wonderful in fiction. In reality, that's usually some form of delusion. It's just not seen as healthy. It's a messiah complex. Or, quixotic. We'll get to that word later too. But it's important to limit how much you take in. Not everything all the time, every day. Just limit it down. And it can be important to make sure that you pay attention to your attention. Just how much you split it and how far you divide it into too many different things. If you think about the sphere of concern as being a literal, actual physical weight that you have to carry, because it is all of the things that you know about, then it's probably a good idea to make sure that it is as light as you can make it, to make sure that it's easy to carry. Now, it's going to be weighed down, and it's going to be too heavy. It always is. Because there's just so much in the world. And I, at the moment, live in an information golden age, silver age, perhaps, as we have now twisted it with misinformation, and there's lots of stuff that you can't actually believe anymore, which is troubling. But there is so much going on, and there is so much in the world, and there's just so much to hear about. I could, right now, look up what's happening in Eastern Australia. Do I need to know that? I don't know, because I haven't looked it up, so I don't know what's going on in Eastern Australia. But also, I live in Tennessee, in the United States of America, and my state is already so big that for me to drive from where I am to the other side of the state would take about 9 or 10 hours. That's a very long time, and I don't have influence over most of that area. So to say that I just allow myself to not worry about what's happening in perhaps South Africa or Norway is not to say that I don't care about any of the people there. It's to say that I'm just one guy, and there's only so much that I can do. It's to remind oneself that what you can actually accomplish has not grown at the same rate as how much information you are flooded with. So, you can try to keep up with as much as you want to. It's not a bad idea to pick 2, 3, maybe 5 things that you actually have the energy for and pour your power and energy into that and be really focused on trying to make an impact there. But it can be a bad thing to get too overwhelmed or to divide your attention in too many different ways. So, for today, the simple thing of this particular word of the day, the sphere of concern, is make sure that you keep your concerns about things that you can do something about, things that are more immediate. That doesn't mean don't make plans. That just means maybe don't worry about the thing from when you were in 4th grade anymore. Because no matter what, it's probably forgotten by everyone but you, and it definitely does not matter in the same way now that it did whenever that happened. Some stuff may still be in your sphere of concern, but may not actually be significant in a way that you feel like you need to do something about it. So, just food for thought. It's a longer idea this time, and tomorrow's will probably be just as long or possibly longer, because that's where we talk about how to try to fix dealing with this very big sphere with a different, smaller sphere called the sphere of influence. But we'll get there. So, good luck out there.